Hey, welcome everybody back to the Monsters in the Mirror podcast. You got Joe, Ian, and Dustin here, back for another episode. We're going to play a little game today. We're going to have some fun, and we are going to we are going to reveal a little bit more about ourselves and let you get to know us a little better and where our musical backgrounds come from. And we're also, I think, going to get to know each other a little bit better as well. So I think this is going to be fun for everybody. So what we're gonna do is all three of us brought three songs that made us, or that were highly influential, that shaped, our view or our taste in music, and brought us, were key in bringing us to where we are today. So we're gonna play those songs for each other here. Some of us potentially for the first time. We don't know actually what everybody picked yet, so we're gonna get a little surprise there a little bit, and then we are going to talk about each one of those songs. The other two people can give their reactions, and then the person whose song it is, will explain why the song means what it does to them. So we're just going to go around. Guys, anything else to add before we get started?
Um, the only thing I will add is something that all of us are probably going to say a bunch of times is that this is the most difficult thing in the world to do because it's really hard
It
to
was
pick
hard.
just three songs. And if we had to do this tomorrow, I would pick a different three songs because there's just so many. So I'm going to get that out of the way
Yep.
now so I don't say it 100 times throughout the rest of the episode.
Agreed. Ian struggled. We were talking about it at work last week, and he's like, I don't know, I can't do it. And I'm like, dude, just pick three. Like, don't your first instinct should probably, those would be the right songs. He's like, yeah, but it changed. And then he actually told me what his three songs were on Friday, and then he changed one of them.
Hey, it like Dustin said, I'll echo that. It was very challenging. If this would have been more like a top 10, top 20,
Easier.
I know we don't have time for that, but I think that would have been a little bit more of a simple exercise for me.
Hey, maybe we'll do a part two if this goes well and we really like it, and we get some good reactions. Maybe we'll do a part two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, one other thing. I think you kind of covered this, Joe, but we're going to play the song, but probably for people listening to the episode, they're not going to hear the song because we'll get like
Correct.
copyright strikes and all that stuff. So you guys won't hear that. You guys won't hear this. You'll have to listen to it on your own if you're interested. But yeah, I guess you'll see our reactions to it.
Unless one of you guys picked a Monsters in the Mirror song.
That's right. I did not. Sorry, guys.
I also did not.
Next time.
All right. Sweet. All right. Well, first on the roster is Dustin Scott with his first essential song.
Okay.
What is it, Dustin?
So I structured my three songs. As my turns come up, I'm gonna do them dynamically because I tried to pick three different songs that are like there's like a softer one, there's a middle one, and then there's like a metal one. So they kind of increase intensity as we go along, because that's kind of my music experiences. I love all across that spectrum. So this first one is a band called Nevertheless, who's not together anymore. But when they were together, I loved them. The guys I hung out with we loved them. We saw them every time they were in town. And this is my softer song. So
sweet.
Alrighty. So I forgot to say the title of that song before it started, but people can probably see it on the screen. But it's called "Oh Child," and it's from their first album, I think. So yeah. Your guys' thoughts?
That was awesome. That sounds a lot like a band called Faber Drive that I also know. I don't know if you know that band too. Okay, they're very similar, like pop punk emo style. That I dig that song a lot. I'm a big fan of that style, and I do have one quick question. Is that song like similar to like The Distant for you? Does The Distant make you think of that song at all?
Only in that I think anytime we do a song that is softer, and probably even as we write more and more songs that do more with me singing and the more emo stuff, that this is the band that I think of, because I think my voice is like his. His voice is a little nasally, and I think mine's a little nasally like that too. And I don't hear him in a lot of the songs do like a crazy vibrato with his voice, but I still think his voice is really, really good and pristine. And so he uses it in different ways that are really awesome. So I guess only in that way.
Gotcha. I liked the layered vocals, and I liked it was weird, and it caught me off guard, but I liked the studio effect where all the drums and other instruments faded in instead of like coming in big. They just sort of like built. I thought that was kind of cool. It's unique.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite part about it was throughout the whole, obviously really powerful lyrics throughout the whole thing, which was cool. Couple like instruments that you wouldn't have expected. I don't know if I heard a cello or some type of deeper violin or something like that, but yeah, it was a really good song. I loved how the energy built up to the end and then it just kind of like trailed off. It's cool.
So
Super catchy.
So those guys, my first band, Pleading the Fifth, in my youth group, we all loved Nevertheless. And so when they came to the underground in Cincinnati, we went down there. Like anytime they were in Ohio, we were driving as a group to go see them. And we hosted a show one time where it was a tour that Everyday Sunday was headlining, and then they had Nevertheless before them, and then Waverly before them, and then we got on the bill as well, and we hosted the show at our church, and it was really awesome because then we got to hang out with Nevertheless, and their guitar player who that little overlapping vocal thing towards the end of the song, their guitar player did the lower one. His name's AJ Cheek, and he's actually, I think he plays guitar for Dashboard now. So it's really cool. Like this band broke up and he kind of moved into that. But
yeah,
that song especially, like I'm a sucker for those. I think they're suspended chords that you would probably know, Joe. Like he plays a lot of like open suspended, like A suspended. It's what it sounds like to me.
Yep. So the sound there is he's using an open tuning. I think it's open D tuning for if my ear serves me. And that's a really cool sound for the acoustic guitar, especially for a song like this where it's just 4 chords. And you can get those the top register, the higher strings to kind of ring out and play the same structure of a chord up top while you change the bass notes. Really cool sound.
I think they use DADGAD tuning sometimes too, and it accomplishes something
could
similar.
Be that too.
Yep. Yeah, so that always grabs me. Then the counterpoint vocals, obviously, I love that. And then I thought there was something else, but yeah. So it's just for me, that is a song that it's not like I heard it for the first time. I was like, whoa, and it changed me in any way. It's more of just like when I think back on my youth, this is a song that I would sing and get emotional to and would vibe with, and those are the elements that I think of when we're writing songs like The Distant, for example. Like when I'm thinking of those elements, I'm thinking of this song or this band.
Sweet.
Cool.
Awesome. I think that was a great song.
Yeah.
Ian, you're up. What do you got?
I'm trying to remember the order. I believe first up I have Blackest Eyes by Porcupine Tree. So I'm not going in any particular order like Dustin had. I just picked 3 awesome songs that I've either liked playing on guitar back in the day or they've just kind of really inspired me. This was the first Steven Wilson project, a song by a Steven Wilson project that I ever heard. After that, I dug into his discography, and I think I'm trying to think back. Maybe this was 2016, 2017, somewhere around in there when I heard this for the first time. Shortly after, he came out with a solo album. So then I started listening to his solo stuff. Then I started listening to his other project called Blackfield. And then he also has a project with Michael from Opeth as well called Storm Corrosion, which is like really dark and dingy and kind of like atmospheric. But anyway, really like Steven Wilson, really like Porcupine Tree, and we were graced a couple years ago. After 11 years on hiatus, they came back and came out with another album. But so anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this one. It is written about I guess it's like the evolving life of a serial killer, starting when he's a kid and then kind of like growing into adulthood. But it sounds really like upbeat. But if you listen to the lyrics, it's all really dark and like crazy stuff.
Do you want the 2017 remaster or just the
Sure.
regular? Okay.
Go ahead, Dustin. You go first.
It was so. It was like listening to 2 different songs that went back and forth to each other,
I was
but
gonna say the same thing.
it still worked. It was just not expected. It's like with that opening riff or whatever, like I don't know, I'm feeling it going a certain direction, and then all of a sudden it's got this like it almost feels like a 1970s with lots of harmonies and acoustic guitars.
It's like almost like a lullaby section, like really like upbeat sounding.
I was gonna say it sounds like a Dream Theater song, like a aggressive part of a Dream Theater song, and then it goes into like an Oasis song.
Interesting.
And it tells it's that the chorus and verses, the non-instrumental like riff parts. Yeah, it sounds like an Oasis song, like British like 90s arena rock. Like that's what it sounds like. It's cool, but it works. I agree. It's like two different songs, but it works. What's really cool riff, time signature, groove, everything.
Something else I also noticed was, even though you told me in advance what the song was about, I was just kind of vibing the music and not really paying attention to like what was being said. And it wasn't until like the last chorus that it was like, I got people under my bed. And like,
secrets in my
I was like,
heart.
oh, that's what he's saying. Like, it took me till the end for it to like kind of land this vibey song, and then we're singing about, like you said, like a serial killer type thing.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, glad you guys liked it.
Nice. What else? So what else do you have? Like, is it as simple as that? You just like the song, or is there any like deeper meaning, or like does that influence you at all on guitar or anything like that?
On guitar for sure. Definitely not like lyrically. I don't relate to that specifically. Just let you guys know.
Just checking.
But I think it really says something about you can pretty much write a song about anything and make it sound a certain way, and if you're not listening to the lyrics, like, you wouldn't even know what it was about. It's pretty, I don't know. I find that song to be one of the more impressive songs in their catalog, even though it's way more straightforward than some of the other stuff that they've written. This whole album, actually, In Absentia, is kind of like about the different, I don't know what, mental illness, but like lack of empathy or psychosis and stuff like that. So all the songs like have something to do with it. It's not really a concept album, I guess. Maybe it is, but no, it drew me in, and then I just really like connected to a lot of the stuff that Steven Wilson has put out. I would definitely say he's like favorite artist, up there with the Cure, and Robert Smith, but who unfortunately did not make the list tonight. But if we were in a soft rock band, he probably would have had the top 3 songs for me.
Nice. All right. Moving on. My first song. All right. I picked my first song. So I structured my songs chronologically in the order that I discovered them, but they also coincide to, if you go back and you listen to my introduction podcast, I sort of have 3 different areas or angles that I come from musically that make up who I am today. And I picked the songs that kicked off those major influences or those eras for me. So the first song that you're about to hear now is called, and all of the CCM kids, the kids who grew up in my era and even maybe 10 years older than me, all know this song. If you were a part of modern Christian culture in like the 90s and 2000s, you know this song. And it's called Jesus Freak by DC Talk. And I'll preface this. I know Dustin knows this one probably very well.
Yeah.
So DC Talk was a group that didn't actually last very long, but they were extremely popular when they were touring and when they were a thing and putting out music. And they had 3 very talented singers that made up it was like a Christian boy band almost. And they started off in like rap. It was like straight up like early 90s rap. And then they transitioned into rock. And like, even like, it's not too far removed. Their last album, Supernatural's not too far off from like the soft part of that Porcupine Tree song that we listened to. Like it's sort of that type of rock. And this album was their turning point into rock. And this song specifically is very grungy and very aggressive and like dissonant. but it still has like a chill vibe and it has some rap in it. So this song, basically, I remember listening to this song in my buddy's basement. He showed it to me. He's like, yeah, my mom, listened to this song in the 90s. This was like 10 years. This is probably like the year 2000, 2001 when I found this song. But he played it for me, and I just remember this first guitar riff kicking in and being like, dang, that is thick. And then the guy's like, rapping and singing about Jesus, and there's like these sick guitar riffs going on, and it's very dissonant, especially when we get to the instrumental. And just pay attention to like some of the riffs and like the dissonance that they use, and it's nasty, but it works. And before I even this is like way before I played guitar, and it really, I realize as I look back, it really struck a chord for me and really influenced me into realizing that like guitar music could be heavy and aggressive, but you could use dissonance and stuff like that in a cool way, but still also be melodic and musically interesting. So
I would also
Yeah,
add that this song, I feel like, kicked off the Christian rock era of like the 2000s,
Yes.
2010s, which we grew up in, and was like, I mean, that was a huge part for me. But it was like, this was a song for me that showed that Christian music doesn't have to be lame. It doesn't have to be like
That's right.
Michael W. Smith or Stephen Curtis Chapman, like my parents listened to. This was legit.
This is cool. Yes, exactly. It's heavy, and this is. I could have picked. I'll go on after we listen to it, but I could have picked a list of songs, but this was the first one that really made me feel that same thing. Dustin, was that Christian music could be cool and relevant and similar to the music that was popular at the time.
Mhm.
So, yeah, this song is awesome. I actually haven't listened to it in quite a while, so this is going to be the first time in probably years for me. But it is hugely influential for me. So, enjoy. My friend's mom used to hate the ending of that song, so we used to just like crank the ending when it came up, and it was just all that like feedback and dissonant guitar. It was sick.
That is not what I was expecting at all. That was awesome.
It's funny, like for me hearing it now, so much farther in the future, I'm like, oh, it's kind of cheesy, like, or whatever. Like, looking back on it, but it's so easy for me to put myself, like, I can picture my bedroom listening to this song on repeat and what I felt and what it meant to me back then. And it's like, I don't know. I just, I'm a lot like you with this song, Joe. It hits me so hard. So we had a double up here.
Yeah, sweet. Ian, what you think? Besides just
it was awesome. It was awesome.
Sweet.
I don't usually have like really insightful comments on songs. Like, I either like a song or I don't. I like that song.
Sweet.
stanky riff to start out, but still like a Christian rock song. Tuned down guitars, real nasty guitar solo. Yeah, it was cool.
My the buddy, so I had one of my best friends growing up. His name is Devin. He actually passed away 10 years ago in an accident. But I think about him when I think about this song too, so it kind of holds a little bit deeper, special of a meaning for me there too. This song just brings up a lot of memories for me. During this period of time in my life in the late 90s, early 2000s, and so it's special for me there. But Dustin, what you were saying earlier, this song is commonly believed to be the song that kicked off the like contemporary Christian music movement, and it was maybe this album's probably the most influential one on that whole thing. It sort of kicked it all off, and there's some other good songs on this album too, but that's the best one in my opinion.
Well, and then the rapper from DC Talk, Toby Mac, he's
super famous.
Yeah, like after they kicked off that whole era, he then went off on his own and he just was Toby Mac, and he created a bunch of music within that realm that was, I mean, he was like the on the forefront of all of it. Like I would listen to Skillet and Thousand Foot Crutch and then listen to Toby Mac, and he was like same caliber.
Yep.
Because he took that rap rock and then just continued it forward. And I just saw the astronauts that went around the moon on the Artemis 2. Apparently they were listening to a song that Toby Mac did, like as they came around and saw the side of the moon or something like that. Like I saw they were
That's
listening to it.
cool.
Like, yeah, we did it.
Nice.
We made it to the moon,
Yeah.
baby.
That's sweet. Yeah, the I wanted to make sure that one of my songs included, and I could have picked. I actually had 2 or 3 songs in mind for this. One was this. Another one was "Forsaken" by Skillet, which is the first song off their Collide album. That also has an amazing guitar riff that just grabs you, and it's super dissonant. That song has a little bit of screamed vocals in it, sort of introduced me to that a little bit more. I love that song. And the other one was "Set It Off" by POD. And all 3 of those, actually the Skillet one not so much, but I don't really listen to or like rap music much now, as you guys probably know. But back then, the rap like aggressive vocals, like mixed in with the aggressive rock guitars and drums, that like combination like really struck a chord with me and really got me into like more aggressive heavy music. And I think it was like the precursor to like heavier metal for me.
Yeah.
The rap influence is definitely there for me when it comes to like how I think about vocals and like how a song feels. Because you don't have to scream to make something super intense. You can rap it, and there's a certain like heaviness or aggression to rap that I don't think maybe many metal musicians necessarily realize. Like there's a heaviness to hip hop, and some hip hop at least, and that's definitely an early influence for me for sure.
So what about like a Rage Against the Machine? Like
Yep,
same
type of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's very much so. Same thing.
Cool.
All right.
That was round
I'm
1.
next. Okay, so for round 2, this song for me absolutely was a song that changed my life and affected everything, like how I am today. So this is Walls by Emery, and Emery's my favorite band. And this is kind of cliche because everybody who likes Emery says Walls is the best song ever. They, I mean, Emery fans beat this song into the ground. They have to play it every show. Like it's just ridiculous. But okay, I'll say something short and then we'll listen to it and then I'll say more. So the thing that grabs me about this song is that it opens heavy, and then the middle is the most beautiful vibrato, awesome singing emo stuff, and then it ends heavy. And they create this Oreo of emo, an emo Oreo. That's Emery.
Sweet.
Here we go.
Sick song.
Banger. Absolute banger.
I'm not super familiar with this song. I haven't listened to it a million times like you probably have, Dustin, but I did hear that song several times back in my, the early, late 2000s. So yeah, familiar with Emery a little bit. I know that one in like studying politics. I remember those from back in the day, but I never really got into Emery like you did. But sweet song, really cool song. I love the harmonized vocals. That's what really stands out to me, or the vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Ian, you got anything before I ramble real quick?
No, honestly, you could probably count on one hand the amount of Emery songs I've ever listened to. But that was impressive. I can see your lyrical roots pretty deep in that song right there. And I'm sure, if I listen to more of their catalog, I would hear the same thing. But they're pretty cool for sure.
So this song is like, it impacted me, but it's not my favorite song by Emery. Like they have another album, In Shallow Seas We Sail, that I think is phenomenal and is the best thing they've ever done. And that comes like 3 or 4 albums after this. But this one, it checks all the boxes as far as impact goes. And I remember, let's see, where I saw it first, and the reason it impacted me was when I used to go to youth group every Sunday, I was very emo, and the way my church kind of did things, like a lot of the ways the messages were preached was like, don't forget, all humans are sinful. You're very sinful. You're a sinner. You're, that's how much you need the Lord. And I kind of, as an insecure teenager, I really internalized that. And I was already telling myself that I was worthless because teenagers do that. And then I kind of latched onto that with the religion part of it as well. And so I was super sad all the time. And a lot of times we would listen to, like, even the worship music we listened to at youth group was very kind of sad, kind of like that vibe. And so that was kind of me as going to youth group and everything. And I remember when I met Holly, she and I were just friends, and even though I was really into her, I wasn't allowed to date her because she wasn't a Christian. And I even told her that. And she just, wasn't really becoming a Christian or whatever. And then we went to a lock-in. I invited her to this lock-in at a Methodist church right outside of Kenton. And at that lock-in, we watched The Passion of the Christ. And Holly watched it, and then she got saved that night because she was really impacted by Jesus getting, murdered in the movie. So that was like, this sounds so horrible, but that was like, she just checked the box. Now we can date. And so that was the night that she became a Christian, and then we were able to date, and now we've been together for 20 years. So that's huge. And it was that same night that it was like after the Passion of the Christ and later, and we're playing games and stuff, and somebody had one of those like Tooth and Nail DVDs that has music videos from all the Tooth and Nail bands. And like, it was like A Day Late by Amber Lynn that played, and I was like, oh, that's a cool song. And there's another song that came on by another band, and then Walls came on, and that music video, it was super heavy, and I was like, oh, what is this? And then it dropped out, and it was really pretty and had a catchy chorus, like a pop chorus that gets stuck in your head, and then it goes through the whole thing, and then it gets to the end, and it just goes nuts. It just, destroy the world. And so I remember seeing that music video and that grabbing me, and then what took it a step further was I went to a live festival. I don't know if it was that year or the year after, but this is big Christian rock festival in its heyday. And bands like Emery would play it, and all those things. And I remember going to the stage, and I saw that Emery was playing, and I was like, oh, I just saw that music video for those guys. And so I went over to the beach stage where they were playing, and it's this big outdoor festival. And I'm standing there, and I noticed all the people that are walking up and that are walking past me, pushing to the front of the crowd. They all have these big bags of pancake mix or flour or all kinds of stuff like that, like baking soda, whatever. I was like, what in the world? Like we're at a music festival with these guys making pancakes in the pit or what? And Emery comes out, and they play through their set, and their keyboard player is wearing a woman's like blouse, like it's like a red like cut off, like it's obviously a woman's shirt. And here I am at a Christian, I'm like, what is this? We got a cross-dresser up here, but their music was grabbing me, and so it was really challenging me in every way. And then they get to the end of their set, and at the end of their set, they always play Walls. And when they got to that breakdown at the end of Walls, the pit erupted with white powder. Like just when it hit, just powder everywhere. And I never understood like the rest of that whole experience. I was like, why did they bring powder? How did they know to do that? Then I found out later that Emery is famous for playing the boardwalk in California, and they were on tour in their early days. And when they played Walls, one of the other bands that was on tour with them pranked them by bringing flour on stage. And you can look up the video like when we're done with the podcast, and like as that breakdown hits, the other band members run onto the stage, throw flour everywhere, and just jump into the crowd and crowd surf. And it's like they're destroying the world while that breakdown hits, and it was just phenomenal. And I think about that every time I hear the song.
That's super
crazy.
cool. Super cool story.
So back in before I even played guitar, I remember going to the Christian bookstore and finding, seeing books and stuff like that. And this book, it's called The Book of Rock. It's a tab book, guitar tab book. And this is before I played guitar. And I remember picking this up and go, oh, this looks cool. And there's bands on here. Under Oath, Emery, Amberlin, MXPX, Thousand Foot Crutch, Hawk Nelson, Dead Poetic. All these great bands, multiple songs. And it was tabs on how to play some of those songs. Walls is one of those songs.
Wow.
And I've had this. I actually didn't buy it back then. I didn't play guitar. It wasn't useful to me. But I remember after I started playing guitar, I remember thinking, you know what? Now that I play guitar, I want to find that book, and I couldn't find it for the longest time. It was out of print until I got an eBay account, and I hunted it down years ago, and I bought it, and it's still on my shelf.
Very cool.
So,
I love it.
I have. This is like my souvenir from like I think about like this is a book from my younger days.
Yeah,
I still have it.
I love it.
Very cool. I want to back up real quick. Dustin, I'm computing things here. You're telling me you are married thanks to Mel Gibson.
Dude, yeah. He created a lot of marriages.
I just wanted to make sure we gave credit where credit was due.
That's right. Our
Yep.
boy Mel.
That's what a teenage boy thing too. Like I wasn't concerned about her soul. I was concerned about being able to date her now that she was.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
Mel with the assist.
Thank you, Mel.
That's funny. That's so funny. Great story though. All right, Ian, what you got next?
So I'm kind of following in Joe's footsteps here. I'm going biblical with this one.
Ooh, yeah, I know. Oh, okay.
So my next song, I first heard it on Guitar Hero 2 back in the day, and I think this had to have been like 2004, 2005. I did not play guitar at the time. My parents got me Guitar Hero 2 either for a Christmas or something like that, thinking that'd be kind of cool. They saw a commercial for it, thought it was awesome. Little did they know I would discover Avenged Sevenfold from them, and this song specifically is what encouraged me to ask my parents to buy me a guitar back in early 2000s. It's just a great song. I believe it has something to do with book of Revelation in the Bible about the fall of Babylon and the Harlot. So it's a pretty good tale. And I know for a fact you guys have heard this song before. You guys are no strangers to it.
I'm not going to piggyback off you, but this is my favorite Avenged Sevenfold song as well.
Wow.
It's my favorite Avenged Sevenfold album for sure.
It is not my favorite Avenged Sevenfold song. That's Scream. I think Scream is my favorite.
That's a good one.
But this is definitely the one that set me on the path to playing an instrument other than the trumpet.
Song rips.
Yeah, are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
And the ending. Crank it up for Joe's mom. Oh.
Yep. Oh, was there more? I'm sorry.
No, well, I guess it depends. It's like it cranks into gosh, what's the next song on that album?
Is it Blinded in Chains?
Blinded in Chains, yeah.
Here,
it fades it.
He's just like dragging the pick along the string.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of noise. Yeah. Dude, that ending just gave me that the na 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 just gave me chills again. Like still that's such a good song.
So
superb musicianship just all around. Great everything, super catchy. That song would be, if we did a top 10, that'd probably be my top 10.
I
I
have two thoughts. One, I wish they didn't do the key change chorus at the end. Like it sounds weird. It almost sounds like he's out of his range a little bit. So he sings with less gusto on it. But then the other thing I thought was like as soon as he came in with the vocals, the way they do the octave underneath. So he's singing the regular part, but he does an octave lower. It just makes it sound so nasty in a good way. Like it's so awesome the way they love it.
Yep.
No, it's an amazing song. Love that song.
I'm kind of like you, Ian. I encountered that song on Guitar Hero as well. I think I listened to Avenged Sevenfold before that. I had a friend who was obsessed with them when I was playing guitar, and he was obsessed with the song Backcountry from that album.
Yep.
And so he and I listened to that song on repeat a lot, and he was like, he learned how to play the solo and everything. I tried to, but failed. But that was trying to do some really complicated guitar stuff. It was Avenged Sevenfold for sure.
Some of their stuff is it's so accessible while also being so inaccessible. Like if you play some of the Zach EV stuff, like you can pick it up pretty quick, but then you try and play some of the weird Sinister Gate solos and you're like, I'm good. Nope. Or the leads, like
Yep. I've experimented. I've tried to learn a lot of his stuff, and I've succeeded at some and failed at others. Yes. That was one, actually, it's been a long time, but I first encountered that song in Guitar Hero 2 as well, and my buddy Nick showed me Avenged Sevenfold. It was right before their second album, right before their self-titled came out, and I rediscovered this song when that came out. But yeah, A7X is one of my most influential bands as well, and they're super awesome.
Yeah.
And they've evolved in something completely different now, but those first like 3 or 4 albums were so amazing.
I mean, City of Evil is obviously no skips for me.
For sure.
Self-Titled is probably no skips. I mean, to be honest, Waking the Fallen, no skips. Like
I like that one too.
I
Yeah.
like that. They just put out good stuff. That's it.
Mhm.
Nightmare.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Glad you guys like
Beautiful. No, that's a great one. Great pick. Okay. My second song is from my third area. So we got 3 areas that make up Joe. We got like worship music. So a lot of, and actually what I played really wasn't worship music, like nice, delicate, ambient, pretty music. But that's one.
it. It was pretty.
This
in
is the
its own
second
way.
one. That's right. That's right. Just like you. Just like you. The second one. This is the second era, the second like sort of genre that really like jumped out at me, and it's somewhat heavy, but it's more emotional. So this is where I went emo. This is a song from one of my favorite bands called My Chemical Romance. And my buddy Mike, who I grew up with, lived in my neighborhood. Him and his sister had the 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge CD, and they showed it to me, and I just couldn't stop listening to it. And I remember one time we were over at their house and we watched, they had the deluxe edition of Life on the Murder Scene, which is basically the expanded edition of 3 Cheers. And there was a DVD on there, and they had all the music videos from the album on there too. And we watched the music video to this song. It's called The Ghost of You. It's one of the more, I guess, lesser popular songs on the album. At least it doesn't get really brought up when I talk to people about this album, but it's my favorite song on the album because it's super emotional and theatrical, and it just pulls on your heart. And the music video is basically like the Saving Private Ryan opening scene, and it is so well done, like insane. I watched it not that long ago again, and it's still like hit me right in the feels because they take you, the way the music video is shot is this opening scene in Saving Private Ryan is just guys storming the beach, and it's total chaos, and it's just hell on earth, and everybody's dying and getting ripped apart. But there's that's it. You don't have any context for it. But in this, they show you like the day before they left, like they're drinking in the bar, having a good time, talking to each other, patting each other in the back, getting ready to do what they know they're about to go do. And then it shows them actually storming the beach, and some of them die. Like the one guy dies in his brother's arms, and it just adds this completely other depth or side of things to it. And those 2 things paired together just blew my freaking mind. And I think this song's the best one on the album. It's the most emotional, I think. But the song hits super hard for me. So this is The Ghost of You by My Chemical Romance.
I love that song so much.
So good.
For me, that whole album, I have, it's either Helena or it's that one is my favorite song. I can't choose between the two. It's one of those 2 always for me.
Yep. I agree. Those are the 2 best on the album for sure. I mean, hey, there's a reason we covered that at our last show. We probably will going forward for a little while at least. So,
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great song. I tried to push to get that one to be our cover. But Helena is definitely more well known, so that's definitely the more suitable live cover. But
maybe next year.
Amazing.
Maybe next year. Now,
Maybe next year.
I have a completely different experience because I had never listened to this album until you guys started talking about wanting to cover Helena. I had heard that song a couple times, but I don't think I would have been able to identify it until I started listening to it, and then we started jamming it, obviously. But I had never listened to 3 Cheers, and this is actually the song that stuck out to me the most when I listened to it. So I think you have good taste. Yeah.
It's a good one. This sent me down a whole new area. I almost picked Welcome to the Black Parade because that one pretty much was just as influential on me, but it wasn't the first one that really sent me down a certain path of like punk, emo style music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a fun fact, I was Holly and I watched Shutter Island the other day, and this is my first time. I guess I've only seen it twice, but I actually understood what happened in the movie this time. The first time I was like, what the heck just happened? But they always show these like flashback scenes of Leonardo DiCaprio, his character in World War II, and I was like, something about Leo and also Gerard Way. They really have the bone structure to be like a GI from World War II. Like you get them clean shaven, they both pull it
Yep.
off. And I feel like either
Yep.
you could have put Leo in the music video for that song and it would have worked. You could have put Gerard
Mhm.
in, Shutter Island, it would have worked. Like I noticed it.
The specific moment in the music video where Mikey, the bassist who dies in the video, where they're walking away about to leave, and then he turns around and looks at his girlfriend or wife or whatever, and then like that's the soft part of the song, and then basically he turns away from her one last time, and then the song just comes in hard with the really like emotional heavy part. Oh, hits so hard every time.
I'm gonna have to watch that music video. I don't think I've ever watched it.
Oh, sit down, like focus, like pull it up on your studio monitors and make it full screen and just take
Grab
it all
a box
in.
of tissues.
For real.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready for round 3?
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Okay, so this song for me, my final song, is the top of the dynamics. So this is of the heavier realm. And this was a song where the music video was on my MySpace page back in the day. And back in those MySpace days, that was when I was still young and I was trying to like freak out my parents by listening to heavy, scary Christian music. But like they couldn't tell that it was Christian. So, at one point Devil Wears Prada was on there, at one point Demon Hunter was on there. But this is a song by a band called The Showdown. And the reason I picked this as my third song is because it captures a few different elements. One, it's heavy. 2, there's some southern elements to it, which I've discovered in myself. I don't know what it is. I know that my dad's side of the family comes from like Kentucky and down south, but there is an itch in me that I have to scratch sometimes of like southern riffs, and that's why we have that part in that song Anger. So The Showdown has a lot of that element. I think they're from Tennessee, and the other element of it is The Showdown is known. They have like a reputation for having wild shows, and it's not because they do anything shocking per se. It's just like wild and rowdy, and there's a lot of camaraderie. So like everybody that comes there knows they're coming there to get rowdy. And they always had like on their merch, it was like "Get Snake Bit," and like it was real southern, and they have some old school 80s rock like metal riffs like that's within their bones, So and this album is kind of like death metal. Like I'm not super savvy with like all the different subgenres of metal, but this whole album is written kind of like Avenged Sevenfold, where it's talking about things from like Revelations. So this song is called "From the Mouth of Gath Comes Terror," and
just that name.
And it does. And one other thing, there's a bridge breakdown later towards the end of the song that features a different vocalist, and I'm pretty sure it's the vocalist from The Chariot, which makes it extra special as well because The Chariot is also very well known.
Fun fact, real quick before you play it. So my church, the church that I go to, the network or fellowship of churches that we are connected with around the nation, Jonathan Kindler, who is the bass player in The Chariot, is a pastor at one of those churches. So I actually know him secondhand.
Oh, that's cool.
I know of him secondhand. So he was in The Chariot. So that was pretty cool.
So again, this song was on my MySpace page, and I tried to learn all of the guitar parts for this, and I did pretty well for this song. I used to play rep this a lot in my bedroom on guitar. Then the song goes on for another 45 seconds of like horses and a guitar. It's like leading into the next song. We don't have to listen to that part. I realize now, listening to it again, like it's not necessarily all this like stuff that happened at the beginning, like the speed blast beats and all that stuff that I like. It's all the riffage that happens in the middle, the breakdowns and all that
southern stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. Like that's
my favorite part
what
too.
Stuck out to me was like the southern riffs. It started out like a little bit like Metallica, like thrashy riff.
Yeah.
And then near the end, I almost heard like some Trivium. But I will say, overall, I am surprised having that as your pick. I didn't know you listened to like heavy music like that, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, that was back then. I don't listen to sometimes I listen to that album for the nostalgia of it. But like the speed metal type stuff, I don't really go for, but that kind of like the southern riffs and breakdowns and that sort of thing, like, oh, I love it so much.
Yeah.
And like I can imagine a bunch of people in a sweaty room with that happening, and you're just like, man, that'd be a cool moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So I'm actually not familiar with the Showdown's earlier stuff like that. I've never listened to that song before, but I do have their last album, Blood in the Gears.
Yeah.
And that's so I remember it being a bit southern, and the only thing that I could tell you right now that I really remember about it, Ian, you should check this out. The opening song on their album is a motorcycle, and it's like, and it's an engine running, and then a guitar like fades in to like match the cadence of the engine, and then like the song starts, and it's sick.
It's really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're funny. The Showdown, like they bounce around. They went from this to they released an album after this that sounded a lot like Metallica. Like it was not like they didn't scream at all. It was like all like, yeah, like singing kind of stuff. And then they did another album that was a little bit heavier, and then Blood in the Gears is where they landed, kind of a mix between everything. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna have to check them out. I literally have never heard of them until now.
I'm gonna go back and listen to them too now, for sure.
Yeah, might be a good tracks for tomorrow at work.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, okay. I'm looking at their page right now. They the Demon Hunter drummer drummed on at least their last album, and their Demon Hunter's guitarist also played bass on their last. Oh yeah, dude. Maybe that's what happened. So when Demon Hunter had their big lineup change in like 2010, 2011, 2012, it looks like most of the Showdown came over from there. The Showdown broke up and they came over and became half a Demon Hunter.
That's sweet. I didn't know that.
Yes, that's now I'm recognizing these names. That's exactly what happened. Interesting.
The lead singer of the Showdown, I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he works at he's like a mechanic at a garage that fixes cars for Jesus or something like that. Like it's like a mechanic shop, but also a ministry. I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know if they like maybe fix cars for free for the needy or something like that, but it seems pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yep. It looks like literally both of the Showdown's guitarists came over and joined Demon Hunter in like right around that time that the Showdown broke up. So Demon Hunter's at least guitar sound is the same. The same people.
Yeah, and the Showdown played at Furnace Fest 2 years ago, and I really wish I could have gone, but it's like 9 hours away or something crazy.
It's in Birmingham, right? Yeah.
That's like 12 hours. I drove down there last year for work.
I would have gone. If one or two guys said, dude, let's do it, then I'd be like, yes, it's on.
Nice. All right, Ian, what you got?
All right. So after this, it will be solidified in your minds that I clearly like concept music or songs that basically tell a story from start to finish. This song is about a man who is kind of reflecting on his life and his decisions as he is led to the gallows. So this is Hallowed Be Thy Name by Iron Maiden.
Yep, that's my favorite Iron Maiden song, I think.
It's a good one.
It was good.
I remember, yeah.
Have you guys ever seen School of Rock with Jack Black?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I understand Jack Black a little bit more from Iron now that I've heard. I think I've only heard Iron Maiden from the one song that was on Guitar Hero, whatever that was. It was like
Number of the Beast,
yeah.
Run to the Hills.
Probably Run to the Hills.
I think it was
Run to the Hills was on Rock Band, actually. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I know Run to the Hills too, but yeah, those two songs I've heard them both, but I haven't really heard this. But like hearing him, especially at the beginning, it made me think of Jack Black, where he's like, "In the end of time, there was a man who knew the road." Like it's very like theatrical, and yeah.
Oh yeah. And they're just as theatrical live. Like they always haul like giant props and stuff to their shows. It's kind of funny, like I've liked Iron Maiden ever since my buddy Christian introduced me to them, and we finally got to see them. And now this was back in 2014 at the Palace of Auburn Hills before they tore it down. Um, but what was very interesting, little did I know I'd end up working in the aviation industry, and Bruce Dickinson, the frontman, is a certified 747 pilot, and they leased one of the planes and actually like put Iron Maiden livery on it and everything like that, and he flew around the world for one of their tours, which was pretty cool.
Crazy. No, he's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
I finally saw them back in 2022, so still pretty recently. And they played this as one of the songs, and it's one of my favorites that they've ever done, and it was definitely one of the best in the set that night.
What's the name of their skeleton guy? Don't they have a name for him?
Eddie.
Yeah, I've heard about that. That's cool.
He's the fun part of the show. That's actually the comedian Jim Brewer. That's one of his jokes. He's like, when you go to a concert, that's what we're just, everybody's a kid. Even if you're an adult, a grown man, you're a kid. Because, what if you go to an Iron Maiden concert? What do you want to see? Oh, Eddie, where's Eddie? Where is he? What is he going to do? And it's fun.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
No, that's a great song. Super emotional. Got some cool guitar riffs, cool harmonies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Maiden's classic for sure. My other favorite song by them is The Trooper. Those are my two favorites.
That's yeah, for sure. That's a very good song. And that is another Guitar Hero classic. A Guitar Hero 2 classic. Dustin was referencing the Guitar Hero 3 classic, Number of the Beast.
Got it. Nice. All right. We are closing it out here, and this is my third area, and this is where I started to get into technical heavy metal. And this is my Guitar Hero song. So this is Guitar Hero 2, and it was in the bonus tracks, I believe. It was a song called 6 by All That Remains. And it's very fast, it's very technical, but it is also very melodic. And this was the first song like this that I had ever heard, and it just sort of blew my mind. And the middle section with the instrumental, and they sort of slow it down, and it almost has like a smooth jazz or like Spanish feel to it.
Yeah.
It's really weird. And then they play it again heavier, and there's a sweet guitar solo back into the heaviness, but it's still melodic. It just, all those ingredients put together just struck a chord with me. So the song is one of my favorites in this genre for sure. And this album, it's off the album called Fall of Ideals, and it's one of the best, I think, 2000s metalcore albums that has ever existed and will ever exist. It's awesome. It's a classic in my opinion. This is 6. What were you gonna say, Dustin?
Okay, it's not gonna. I want to make sure it's not gonna play automatically. This is for sure a song that I know I played on Guitar Hero 2. I recognize the name, but I have not heard it since I played it on Guitar Hero 2.
Oh, that's so
right.
I know as we listen to it,
excited for you.
I'm gonna recognize it and go, "Oh yeah!"
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
Whew.
Rager, absolute rager. Yeah,
That
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I actually saw that band, All That Remains. Finally, I saw them, and they played that song year and a half ago. And the guitarist too is on that album who wrote that song. He died about 8 years ago or something like that, and they replaced him with a younger guitar player who's actually, he left the band. His name's Jason Richardson. He's one of the best metal guitarists on the planet right now, I think. He absolutely shreds, and he put out an album with them recently that's pretty darn amazing. Absolutely just acrobatic guitar stuff. But he played this song so well live, and it was a bucket list item I got to check off, see the song played live finally.
Yeah.
And so I got to do that just not even 2 years ago. So yeah. But no, this song really shows me that you can be heavy but melodic, and just the technical prowess you can have on the guitar, and it really, but you can still, it's coherent and clear. At least the production on this album is really good too. But no, just really good note choices, phrasing, good riffs all around. one of my favorites.
Yeah, I completely agree. I said it while we were listening to it, but it's so dang impressive that they carried that clean section, the same exact melody they were playing, into the dirty section later, and it just like it was so cohesive, and it sounded right at home. It was it was good. That song, I haven't listened to it in a while. I do have it on like a playlist that has some of my old like early 2000s metal and like some Guitar Hero songs on there, like Trogdor and some Death Clock stuff. But that song still gives me the chills, man. It's just good.
I remembered it. I felt like I could predict what was going to happen next melody wise, like what the guitar was doing. I could kind of sing it in my head a little bit. So it was, yeah, that was cool. I like I guess is maybe the verses of the song. I felt like it was simple but amazing. Like it felt different than what we listen to nowadays. Like everything now is so complicated and everything. This was like, I mean, not that it's easy to play per se, but like like that was awesome.
It's
like
straightforward,
having that going and just having the drums being real
it's a
simple
bouncy beat.
Yeah, I just like
it bounces.
Wow.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep, Ollie Herbert, amazing guitarist. R.I.P.
Simpler times.
Exactly. But yeah. All right. Well, that's this has been fun, guys. That was awesome, and I think we had some like really cool discussions that just like happened naturally too. It was kind of cool to think back and take a walk down memory lane, at least for me too. And it sounds like you guys did that too. So
yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So hopefully people get enjoyed that and get a little bit more of a deeper view of our background and what we like, and yeah, enjoy. Maybe we'll do this again sometime if we get a good response, or if we just feel like it, because I had a great time. So
I know I've got enough songs in the back catalog, so if we want to do this again, I've got more to pick from. I've got some artists that are pretty mad at me right now for not selecting them.
That's right. Got to go up and you gotta satisfy the tism. You gotta check. You gotta get there's more. I gotta put on.
There's more, man.
Awesome, guys. Well, hope you come back again as we await another episode of the Monsters in the Mirror podcast. So see you, everybody.
Yeah.
See you.